After doing my color mapping this morning, I decided to do another meditation sketch and getting very close to finishing up this sketchbook that started so many years ago. December of 1979. Okay, so this has a lot of history in it. And I'm nearing the end of this sketchbook. So I started this. It's a connect the dots that is a number of variations are included in here. And I thought, okay, I will film a little bit of what I'm doing here. And this was pretty much inspired by one that I did last night. That's also it's stepping away from the original connect the dots star patterns that I began making. I think that there's one in here. Yeah, and apparently, this one with curvy lines, that was done in April of 2023, last year. I did several curvy lines, and I think that there's a straight line. Maybe not. Okay. I started off with the star pattern, and then I connected some dots that I felt were a mistake. And I like to turn mistakes into something inventive, to break through into a new way of looking at things. So that's what I was doing in here. These are all connect the dots. The irregular patterns are connecting the dots. And then what I did is I went back here. I'm not going to do it with the pen. This is blue. This was a dot, and I just drew it straight down to meet the line that I had already drawn when I was connecting the dots here. And I proceeded to go down and connect a dot with something below it to create a wonky perspective New York City cluster of buildings, sort of. And then I decided that I would paint some in. And I started painting them in. And what I was thinking of here was all the green I've been working with. There's been so much green with the rain and then the heat and then the rain. With the Skiathos water. And this, I believe, was inspired by some of the colors in Tuscany. So this sketch is really very meaningful to me, and it drew from multiple sources and expanded out from those multiple sources of experience, of inspiration, and of techniques. This morning, I was influenced by the film I did yesterday, I think it was yesterday, of the small spiral sketchbook that was all automatic drawings, connect the dot drawings, and working my way into adding one of the techniques that I use for NeuroArt, which is to soften all the corners. You'll see, because I'm going to do a few of these here. Now the rule, I did have a bit of a rule here. I started off with this. I spiraled around one dot, made my way to another dot, and spiraled into the dot. And from that point, I started with a dot over here, spiraled around, crossed over the line, and back to another dot, spiraled in. And that gave me junctions to then soften for the NeuroArt. The next one I did was this one. I spiraled out, over. I had to cross over a line, so I crossed there and spiraled there. And then I did this one. And the reason this looks different is at the junctions, they were rather large junctions. So I thought, since this is water-soluble blue ink, I would use water to create a puddle and draw the ink into the spaces made for the NeuroArt technique. So now I'm going to be quiet and do several of these. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'll show it to you when I'm finished with it. I don't think that I'm going to be able to take the time to finish this whole thing this morning. That one a little bit bigger because I crossed over. And I could have left that, but I don't want to. Often have to modify what I'm doing. As I'm doing something, I'm asking myself if it's feeling right. If it's not, then I go ahead and do something to it. double line because this wasn't enough of a curve. And sometimes I just leave the openings like that. I'm not going to do that with these. I may at some other point, kind of like this one, the way that it's looking. Actually, I want this to be. I can change my rules whenever I want. Okay, so you get the idea of the technique. And here I'm going to experiment and see, because I don't like this edge reminding me that I did what I did. So I'm just going to go back over. There we go. Much happier.